Hello creatives, we're back again today, and today I'll be talking about how to build an author platform. Maybe this sounds like you. You're writing a book and you want to land a literary agent and get it published at one of those big 4 publishing houses. Or maybe you want to self-publish and you want your book to be part of a passive income stream to help create yourself to help build out a long-term author career, but you need help building a platform to land that agent and to maintain that career. Maybe you don't think that you don't need the help with branding and marketing because you'll just slap some Facebook ads together and you'll land those book sales. Unfortunately, I'm here to tell you that ads alone will not fix a poor author brand. The first step to building out a solid author platform is to embrace the fact that you are an entrepreneur. This might be a slightly controversial opinion, but a book is a consumer product, just like any other, and it deserves the proper investment to be launched. Especially if you are wanting to be an author full-time, or you want to have a substantial passive income or substantial side money coming from your work as an author. You really need to embrace an entrepreneurial mindset and consider this as a business. You are an entrepreneur when you decide that you want to become an author. So the first step to building a solid author brand is to embrace being an entrepreneur. Now, here's a rough timeline of what you can expect to help build that author brand. And generally, you need at least 18 months. That's a lot of time, I know, but I promise you that if you take 18 months at least to really get into the nitty-gritty, building out your brand as an author and preparing for the book launch in the way that is just as meticulous, just as thought out as the plots and the characters in your story, you will thank yourself later when you do see those sales come in, when you do have that income stream coming in that is more than pennies on the dollar because you set yourself up for success and you were serious about this and embraced that entrepreneurial mindset that's needed to be a career author. So 18 months out, you define your author persona. 18 months out from the book launch, define your author persona. What makes you, you? Find creatives on social media who are in the same or similar genre and just kind of like get a lay of the land to see how other authors are positioning themselves in the social media sphere. Engage with them online and understand that when you engage with them online, it's not out of being spammy, it's you are creating business relationships, you're creating friendships, because one thing that is paramount for publishing success is understanding that publishing is a business that requires heavy networking to be successful. If that scares you, check out the previous video that I did where I provided tips on how to network as a creative professional. Now, 14 months out, this is where you really start to set up your digital ecosystem. This is where you build out your author website, you have your about page, you really start building out where people can find you online. And with this comes with identifying 2 social channels that you will have a content strategy for, that you feel comfortable using. And that's key. If you are not someone who wants to put your face out there on YouTube, like if that just grates your gears at the thought of it, don't choose YouTube as one of your 2 social platforms. Choose something else. You do not have to be everywhere. You don't. Don't stress yourself out. Don't spread yourself too thin. Choose 2 that you feel comfortable with, that you know you could consistently post on those 2 platforms. Now, 12 months out, this is where you really start setting up the business aspect of being an entrepreneur. You put your financials together, you get that LLC, and I have a video for why you might want to consider getting an LLC. Even if you want to go the literary agent route, it's really good to separate your finances in some fashion. Now, I will say that you should probably consult a financial professional to help better understand what you need to do for your personal situation. But I will put a link to what I did and why I chose to set up an LLC. So now you've got that out of the way. And hopefully you've gotten a couple months of content strategy out there, and you are starting to build and engage with a community of like-minded individuals who are attracting a similar audience to you, and you've gained some momentum. 8 months out, this is where you really start marketing. You really need to start thinking and actually acting on the marketing strategies that will launch your book forward. Even if it's not ready yet, even if you're still writing it, start marketing it 8 months out from when you know your launch date is, at least 8 months out, sometimes even more. And I say that because part of your marketing strategy should be cross promotion. You should be trying to get featured in blogs, in literary magazines, in local publications, on podcasts, or even local writing groups or local schools or whatever. And I say that you need to work 8 months ahead because some editorial calendars are set in stone up to 8 months in advance. So if you don't start sooner rather than later, you will not get those interviews, those guest posts, those guest speaking opportunities, because you will have missed the boat there. They've already gotten filled up. They've already got their calendar all figured out. They don't need any more guests. They won't need you to fill in content for them. So earlier rather than later on that end. Hopefully by now, you're a graphic designer who is not just working with your book cover, but also working on your other marketing collateral, has that type of stuff ready to build out digital marketing campaigns. And I really stress that you should work to build a relationship with a graphic designer rather than hiring someone to do a one-off book cover for you, because a graphic designer relationship that you can have throughout your entire author career is pivotal. Absolutely pivotal, because they will understand who you are as an author brand, they will understand your writing and your works, and they'll be able to help you create the items needed for multimedia marketing campaigns. So a graphic designer, as someone who is a part of your book launch team for the long haul, will change your life. 3 months out, this is where the rubber hits the road, okay? So hopefully by now, after you started reaching out at month 8, you started reaching out to those podcasts and to those blogs and to those YouTube channels and whatever that you want to be a guest on. You start that at month 8. At month 3, you are starting to get actually featured in those podcasts and those webinars and those guest posts and what have you. This is where that really starts coming into play. You start handing out advanced reader copies, you start giving away, and you start doing more Q&As within your community that you've built out on your social media platforms. This is where the rubber hits the road, and you need to keep this momentum up until the launch. Now, I want to stress here that as you're doing this, you are not taking away a sale from some other author. Books are not competitive products. People read multiple books in multiple genres. So partnering with other authors and cross-promoting on their posts and their podcast and their other content strategies is not taking away sales from them, because people read more than one book in one genre. That's just the way it is. Books are not competitive in terms of they don't cannibalize each other. A reader of one book is more likely to read a similar book. So you are only helping yourself by finding author friends who are at similar stages in your journey and doing cross promotion among your audiences. Now we get to the launch. When it gets to the launch, this is where you really have to show up for your audience. You really have to show up for the people that you've built in your community. Hopefully your readers are following you. Your other author friends are promoting your work. You're showing up on live. You really have fun with it. Like, you've really done so much good work when you've gotten to this point. Be proud of what you've accomplished and really share it with the world. That you have a book launching like this week or this month or whatever. So really go hard with the fun activities that you can do with other author friends, or in conjunction with other creative professionals who might be related to your book or to your story, and what have you. Then we get into a post-launch strategy. Just because the book is launched doesn't mean the work is done. After the book launch, you really need to have more interviews secured. Secure more interviews, secure panels on local writing conferences, talk with schools, talk with libraries. Like, you really need to build up that momentum and build out that thought leadership, and then kind of like hint at when the next book in the series will be released. So you just keep building that momentum towards the next launch, and you keep engaging, and you keep building, and you keep finding more author friends to partner with, and you wash, rinse, repeat this cycle throughout every book launch. It's a 12 to 18 month cycle for everyone. And after a few books, it gets easier because the momentum has been built. So, the second or third or fourth book, you may not need 12 months to have a good launch. You might only need 6. But if you're a newer author, if you're a brand new writer, emerging author, this kind of framework will help you in the long run. And if you need any help setting out what specifically you would like to do or you need to do, check out the links below, check out my Power Hour, and book a Power Hour with me where I can give you that individualized attention to help make sense of all the freebies and low-cost courses that are out there for authors. I've purchased some of them just as market research, and some of them are really confusing and not that helpful. So I understand that there's a lot of overwhelm in how to launch your book. So if you need help making sense of the marketing, I am here to help. I have 5 years of marketing experience. I have an MBA in marketing. I have a day job as a marketing strategist. I've worked in top public relations firms. I have helped businesses on the brink of closing their doors turn it all around. I have pushed 6-figure businesses to be 7-figure a month businesses. I have the marketing strategy know-how to know how all of it works together. So please do not hesitate to reach out for a Power Hour I'm currently booking for August and September. So there's that. Be on the lookout for more content, because next week I'm talking about a unique challenge that I'm doing in the month of September. So check it out. I'm excited. Follow, subscribe, so you can continue getting this content. And please, in the comments below, let me know if this was helpful. Let me know what other information that you would like for me to dive into, because book publishing is crazy and overwhelming, and I've been there. My first book, which I'll put a link to my story of my publishing journey, my first book was not that great. The launch was not good, and it really pushed me to become a marketing professional so that I can turn around and give back to authors who are in the same position I was a few years ago. So until next time.